As the dust settles on the recent 2008 Connecticut legislative elections, we've passed a really important milestone. We've had the first full run of the Connecticut Citizens Election Program for the legislative elections. We saw the first full run of a program that we believe is the broadest and most comprehensive program within the broadest program of campaign finance reform undertaken by any state in our nation's history. The Connecticut campaign finance reform laws passed in late 2005 combined a program of complete public financing, full public financing, with complete bans on lobbyist contributions and contributions from principals of state contractors. So when Connecticut saw 75% of its candidates for the recent legislative elections join the voluntary full public financing program, we knew that we were really part of history in the making. 75% of the candidates joined the voluntary program, which is really extraordinary for the first run. And by way of comparison, in their first years, Maine and Arizona saw participation rates of 1/3 and 1/4, respectively. Their rates are up now, but in the first year, they were 1/3 and 1/4. And while the embrace of the program by candidates has been really extraordinary, the real change in Connecticut is much deeper. What that means for the citizens of Connecticut is that in the first run, we virtually eliminated special interest money from the electoral process for the legislature. Candidates who joined this voluntary program raised qualifying contributions between $5 and $100. State Senate candidates raised $15,000. House candidates raised $5,000. These are all small $5 to $100 contributions. There's an in-district requirement, so a certain percentage comes from individuals living in your district, and then there's also an aggregate requirement of the $5,000 and the $15,000. Your grant amounts basically for state rep are $25,000, and for state senate, it's $85,000. It's not an ATM. The Citizens Election Program thresholds are appropriate, but it's not automatic. We were pleased that most candidates who were really trying to qualify were able to do so. So as I mentioned, Connecticut, with its high participation rate and the bans on lobbyists and contractor contributions, really virtually eliminated the special interest money in these 2008 legislative elections. I'm going to share a little preliminary data. We're going to do a full report on the 2008 elections, but as we're working on this now, the numbers are too good not to share today with this crowd. We looked back at all of the filings in 2006, which was quite an endeavor because they're all on paper. Unfortunately, there's no mandatory electronic filing in Connecticut. So we went through all of the filings on all of the money given to candidate committees in 2006. And then we've gone through all the filings on all the money given to candidate committees in 2008. We compared all of the contributions from individuals to all the contributions from everybody else, the special interest donors, lobbyists, PACs, other entities. Looking back at 2006, less than half of the candidate committee funds came from individuals. In 2008, approximately 97% of the campaign funds raised by the candidate committees came from individuals. Not entities, not PACs, not town committees, no reported lobbyist contributions because of the complete ban. And total PAC contributions to legislative candidates were down from over $3 million in 2006 to an approximate aggregate to all candidates, the ones who opted out, of about $60,000. So really, really extraordinary. This is really what democracy could be and what it should be, and it's happening in Connecticut.